Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. We're going to make this one real quick, as quick as I possibly can without getting off topic and rambling. Final thoughts on race. Final thoughts on race is this: race in America. America is not a systemically racist nation. Can I prove this? Yes. Now, let me clarify. Has America ever been systemically racist? Yes, it has and was at some point in our history. However, just like every country on the planet, there is some deep, dark past that everyone has had to deal with. If you think about the northern coast of Africa, the Barbary pirates and the Barbary pirate slave trade, in which white Europeans were enslaved by the millions. Look it up. There's not a race on the planet that has not been at one point in time or another under slavery. I think if everyone would come to that collective understanding, we would look at slavery, number one, as the horrific thing that it is. But then we could also look at our humanity in that all of us have fallen short of the glory of God. None of us are without sin. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. There is no one who does good, no, not one. Each has gone to his own way. No one seeks after God. So if we were to understand this, I believe collectively, in the American society anyway, we could push forward, okay? Number one. So, yes, America was systemically racist. Number two, current day, America has not been systemically racist since 1968. That is around the time, well, actually probably early 70s. Late 60s, that's when redlining districts became illegal. Also, post-civil rights. So we have 50 years. If you just take from 1970, we have 50 years, 50. 50 years in which blacks and whites have been integrated within society. The only time, self-integrated. There's been no forced segregation. Now there's been individual segregation, and we're even seeing that today. We're seeing segregation, black students not wanting white students in certain areas. And in fact, in the United States of America, there's only one law currently that favors one race over another, and it's called affirmative action. Affirmative action places, favors black individuals over white and Asian. Meaning, if you have three people that show up at a job, a black person, Asian, and a white, the Asian and white have better qualifications than the black person. Hypothetical here, hypothetical. The Asian and white have better qualifications, better test scores, graduated from college, higher grade GPA than the black candidate. That company must hire, it depending on their racial demographic within the company. If they don't have a certain number of minorities, they must hire that black candidate over the Asian and white candidate. That's affirmative action. That is racism. When you favor one race over other races. America, in and of itself, 21st century, is not a racist nation. We don't have a racial problem. This is how I know. I've been blessed enough in my life to actually be a minority in many situations. In fact, I've been a minority employee, meaning my department was majority people of color, Hispanic and black, and I was the only white. I have been in classes in universities in which that I was the only white student. The entire student body and the professor was black. I have graduated from my high school. I graduated with people, with black students, and some of them have gone on to be very successful. I'm talking owning their own businesses, authors, published authors, appearing on CNN and other news stations. So in my young 52 years of life, I have not witnessed a single white-only or black-only restaurant, restroom, water fountain, nothing. What we have in this nation, the problem, what we have going on in this nation is we have a brainwashing problem. Marxist ideology has been pumped through the school systems. An entitlement, an entire entitlement generation, young people who believe that they are owed something in this life because of the sins of a nation from hundreds of years ago. Instead of being taught that the way slavery was abolished is because white people assisted black people in getting it done. We are Americans. I saw this video. It really touched my heart. It was a black man. He was in the hood. He was talking to a guy, and he was sharing with him about voting for Donald Trump. He had been a lifelong Democrat, and he was changing to become a Republican because he began reading about how the Republican Party was started by blacks, that blacks were the first that were Republicans, that it was the Democrats who started the KKK, and it was Democrats who wanted to keep them enslaved, and it was Democrats who formed the KKK to put fear in blacks and to make them vote Democrat. And during that video, he said, "You know, bro, we're black Americans." And he said, No, we're Americans. We're Americans. And that right there, when you have that revelation that there's no difference between us, I mean, other than our melanin, there's no difference. We are American. We share somewhat of the same history as far as our founding is concerned and all that. But our own lives, what the directions, the decisions we make, and the consequences that are carried with each one of those decisions are based on our individual choices. Period. If you're a black person in America, you're a white person in America, you're a Hispanic person in America, you start at the same starting line. It just depends on what you do with your life. Now, granted, the welfare state has done more to harm the black community than possibly anything outside of slavery, because the welfare state rewarded women for having children out of wedlock. They were paid per child, and in essence placed the black men in the precarious position of not having a home, not being head of the household. Decisions, choices carry consequences. Now, does it mean, and a lot of the things that are going on with regards to crime, because statistically speaking, blacks do commit at least 50% or close to 50% of the violent crimes in America, while they make up, look, I've heard between 13 and 20%. To be quite honest, I think that percentage, is a little higher because, again, like I said, I've been blessed enough to grow up and to live and be a minority within communities of color. Where I live currently, I am a minority. I am a minority in my section of the neighborhood. It doesn't bother me. And that's why I don't believe that America is systemically racist. Are there bigots? Yes. Are there racists? Yes. But there's black racists as well as white racists. There's black bigots as well as white bigots. Bigots don't know melanin. Okay? Bigots don't know melanin. But every person, I wave at people in my neighborhood when I walk my dogs. That's where I just got back from. I wave at people in my neighborhood. I pass people every day. All people want to do is live their lives. All people want to do is have a job, support their family, and live their lives. And it's nice to have people be nice to you. There's everything about race that's being drummed up right now in this nation is being all pushed by a Marxist media and a Marxist Democratic Party. And everything that is going on with regards to the plague, let's just put it that way, because I don't want this video pulled down. Everything that's going on with the plague is being pushed by and people are being suppressed by Democratic governors, Democratic mayors, and Democratic-run towns. America is not systemically racist. We have a sin problem, and we have a brainwashing problem. I would encourage parents to teach your children the full scope of history. Teach them that every race at some point in time in history was under slavery. That slavery is a scourge and it should be condemned. That racism is a scourge and it should be condemned. But to teach them that we have a bunch of white racists or black racists running around is just dishonest, and it does more harm than good. Followers of Jesus, more than ever, let your light shine before men. Regardless of what a person does to you, how they treat you, you love them. Jesus said, love your enemies, pray for those who spitefully use you. Your enemy or someone who mistreats you could be the same color as you, or they could be of a different melanin. It doesn't matter. We are commanded to love. And love we should. That's why when I walk around and I see people, and I just see people going about their days, black, white, Hispanic, I see a society that just wants to live their life. They all get along. And the only thing that's fueling racism, the only thing that's fueling bigotry is the mainstream media and the Democratic Party. My suggestion, vote for candidates who push for unity. Vote for candidates who are not Marxists. And turn off the mainstream media. Turn them off. And it's all of them. I mean, John Roberts on Fox just went off today. He has Trump derangement syndrome. Am I saying that President Trump is the best thing since sliced bread? No. No. The man has stuck his foot in his mouth plenty of times. However, I do believe he is a man that loves this country, and I do believe he is a man that desires the best for all Americans, regardless of your melanin. If Marxist and the ideology of critical race theory is allowed to continue to burn through our society will look like the homes and residences out in California that wildfire has gone through. We will be ash. We will be ash as a society. History done. Game over. So, get out this November, vote, and love. Love people and pray. Pray for our nation. But remember, as a society, we have a history. We'll always have a history. But that's why it is the history. We've got to learn from it. Start in the present and move forward. And it's all about now and forward. Stop dwelling on that. And if you're one who is stuck back there, talking about, oh, my ancestors, my encouragement to you would be forgive. 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 Jesus said, if you do not forgive the sins of those who sin against you, neither will your Father forgive you. If you don't forgive others when they sin against you, or have sinned against you, or unknowingly sinned against you, if you hold that on them, you will not be forgiven. I didn't say it. Jesus did. So, that is the only thing I'm going to say about race on this channel. And that's because that is as succinct as I can put it. And any other way, yeah, that's how I feel. That is my honest, open opinion on race in America in the 21st century. So, hopefully next time we can do something outside. About time for me to get back to chopping some wood. Starting to get a little cooler, and I'm looking forward to it. So, till next time, this is Christ Yeshua Reigns. Take care, be well. God bless y'all.